Now, let's look at the orchestra and organization, business organization. What is in common? In orchestra, you have musicians who always have to practice and improve because you are not just good, you are getting better or you're getting worse. The same in business and leadership. You cannot just be, you know. Some people have just job and give you 10% of who they are. They are just, you know, going down. But otherwise, you have to grow as a human being all the time, right? So on the next level, a team. In orchestra, you have first violins, second violins, you know, the viola, the section of timpani and so on, and winds. They better be a good team to work together. Huh? In the same in organization, you are supposed to be good teams. And they are very good teams. There's a lot of practice and people know how to work on team. But on the next level, there is huge difference, my dear friends. Because, look, musicians are big egos. Much worse, you are angels in comparison. Musicians are horrible stuff, you know, because they already develop, you know, and then it's terrible. But the moment they start playing masterpiece, they become in a split second half gods. They are completely changed. In a second, they are another person, another consciousness, because they serve the masterpiece. Bruckner 7th, you know, Brahms 1st. So they are suddenly really somebody else. Things come from her. And what is in the business? Well, what kind of music do you play in business? It's written on one line. No, music is written on 5 lines. One line, it's called bottom line. You just, you know, numbers. So it's a problem. You don't have a masterpiece. So this is what I do with companies. We help them to start operating like an orchestra, and they compose their own score, their own masterpiece. So that's very interesting, huh? Global orchestra. But before they start playing, they have to tune. So let's tune together on D for change. Okay. Come on. So keep singing and increase and then decrease and at the end. Okay, and I'll play with you. Very good. I like that. So we can now start. You know, you're now the orchestra. Yeah, come closer, as close as you can. Very good. Do you hear me in the back? Yes? Very good. Now, look, I promised something to you this morning. I said, you will now experience together with us a musical strategy to start implementing stuff that you maybe discovered during the conference. Because it's a very bad investment if you come here, only get information, and you go back unchanged. We really want you to go back changed, and on Monday say, yeah, bloody going to get at least 1 to 3 implemented, in whatever it is. And what will you experience then? Whoosh, come the old patterns. And they will say, no, business as usual. You know. Now, if you only get PowerPoint presentations, then you give up, you know, because PowerPoint has no power, as you know. But if you experience, yeah, man, you know, yeah, but I'm going to take it from you. Yeah, but if you experience, you know, I feel like African today. This is wonderful, yeah. So if you experience something very deep, this is why I work with my clients in such a way that they go through music, through painting, through poetry, they do it themselves, and through drama, and same change ideas go through different forms of art, which is fun. It's not dangerous. You can experiment, you can make mistakes. It doesn't cost you 3 million, you know. That's why arts, and it's called creative detour. And then you come back and suddenly, voila, you can do it in business. Yes. We should take art seriously. It's not entertainment. It's dead serious. Because it is formative forces of art that brings you to another type of consciousness with which you can solve your dilemmas. So let's start. Stop talking. I'm using, you saw this morning, beginnings. That this one today is like that. Yeah, it's very severe. No, it says, there I want to go. Yeah, did you count? 1, 2, 3. There are 3 things. Let's say you remember 3 things from the conference you want to really implement. I don't say execute, because execution comes from military. Implement. Embody. not execute. You remember I said we don't use deadlines, we use lifelines. You know, when a dead date is lifelines, the project is alive, not dead. Yeah. Heartstorming, not brainstorming. Brainstorming only technology. Heartstorming human being. Yeah, all right. So, what are the 3 things you want to implement? Tell me, what is the first one? What is your eureka that you had enlightenment here that you want to implement? Embrace the problem. Wonderful. The second one. You learned nothing?
Define a masterpiece to lead your team towards.
Yes. Embrace the problem. Masterpiece. Thank you so much. The third one.
Learn to do art.
You are creative. Learn to
Do art. Any
art. Yeah. Embrace arts as tool. Well, we got them. 3 them. Now let me show you how that will be implemented, the 3. Okay? Are you ready? Seat belts? Yeah, no. Oh, there are 4. That's the 4th one. Sorry, the 4th one is cash flow. You know, we are in business. So may I suggest the 4th one is a serious one. Because if you do art and you do all this nice creative stuff and masterpieces, they will fire you if there is no, at some point, some results. So there's a cash flow. So it's the ugly one. But now it could also happen this way. What happened? They went to McKinsey. Yeah, too much. You see, strategy means to reduce, to distill, to 3 drivers, and 60 others will follow. If you start with 63, I can tell you, it's going to be business as usual. So first thing, reduction, concentration. In German, it is Verdichtung, and Dichtung is poetry. So you have to make poetry out of your 3 things. Is that all right? So let's start. These 3 things now go on implementation journey. So what you hear is this. It says, you do this, you do that, yesterday. Yeah? Stay too far away. So, you see, it's commanding, controlling into different divisions. Someone says, me? Me? Yeah. So that's the first dissident, yeah? He says, yeah, so you must watch out these signals. There is somebody maybe who thinks this is not the right style of leadership, right? So let's go on. Let's see what that consequence comes out of that. I'm playing real music. This is Bach, no? 300 years old. It's not something, yeah? So it's masterpiece. Panic. Now everybody's running. Woo! You know, like this, yeah. Yeah. Because if you have too much pressure, like marriage after 30 years, yeah. Too much pressure, then, you know, people still smile because they have a job. But inside, they are trying to get out of this place because this we don't like. Yeah, it's 19th century leadership style. Yeah, so what happens? The pattern changes. Instead of 3 + 1, we have suddenly a labyrinth. We can also call it fear. You know, people are scared to death. You know, there are organizations who have fear as instrument. Bloody, you know that? It is horrible. People are all scared, and that's how they run their business. You know somebody like that? Yeah. Now the fear goes to the top floor, and they do this. They do this. They say, and take over. So this is a corporate cycle. No? pressure, panic, more pressure, and take over. Or sell out, or whatever, yeah. Do you recognize this pattern? What happens here when it comes back? The salvo from top. More power. People think you can solve the, hey, not so loud speaking back there. Psst. Thank you. So what happens if you try to solve problem with more power? Doesn't work. But look how many times that is tried out and doesn't work. So you have to learn. Look, more power, 3 at 1. It's going down. I call it Titanic syndrome. You know, it's going down, but music in first class. Like the modern world, isn't it? Yeah. So what else do you can count? 1, 2, go, 1, 2, go, 1, 1, 1, 1, dead. You know, that means when you are scared, you throw away embracing arts, you throw away masterpiece. You only look at one thing, which is what? Survival. The fourth, the bottom line, no? Money. You look at money. When you're scared, you look at money. What happens to money if you look at it? It goes away. You know, we never look at money. We look at great stuff, vision, you know, the money follows. That's how it is in the world. So, it's the disaster. Even all the hair breaks, you know, because the horses eat the wrong food there in Mongolia. That's a problem, yeah, it's all ecology. Okay, now, what is the way out? There is only one way out. It is called let go. Yeah. That's the remedy. You know, because you do this in life 3, 4 times, and like teenagers, I am incorporated, and now you notice there are other people there, you know. So you sort of let go and see, can I restart the process with different attitudes, with different structure, masterpiece. So, let go. What do you notice? It's gentle. It's feminine. No, women are not so gentle sometimes. But it's not this, it's now one octave higher. It's big picture. It's not here. It's now, we see around. So, and it's gentle, and it is another structure. Here it was commanding, and now it is conversational. Answer. Now, the other one goes on. Answer. Do you notice it's horizontal now? So somebody starts, and the other one says, oh, great. And what about this? I like that. And like, very nice. Now the third one will come. You will see. They say, what do you talk about? They say, we won't tell you. Okay, I go to Google. Yeah. So now, see, now, once again, listen to this. Watch out when the third one comes. And they said, no, no, no. You know why I say that? Because like in a poetry, you don't say everything. That's the problem with PowerPoint. It always says everything and gives you no space for your fantasy to unfold. It tells you everything. You're like empty sack and they throw it into you. Think about it. Don't think I'm negative. I just say there is not enough art in the world. We forgot about humanity. What's new? What's new? You know what's new? Now we start bottom up. Until now it was top down, top down, top down. Now it's bottom up. Very different. Starts exploring bottom up. I don't know how in Europe it's beginning. How is it in Asia? How is it in Africa? Do they already starting bottom up or is it all top down?
Mainly top down.
Yeah, you see. But we'll come and help. Yeah, it's much better. Yeah. So change. Of course. Why is it change? Do you know somebody around you, in your, wherever you live, who has brilliant idea, except they talk about it 10 years all the time? Have you seen somebody like that? What do you do when you see them coming? You make a detour. You don't want to hit that brilliant. It's probably the best idea under the sun, except ideas have timing, my friends. You must have sensitivity when is the right moment for the right idea. Otherwise, you just have walls, nothing else, and you get frustrated. So here we are with this tree. It's not ready yet. So we go now, music goes on detour, on creative detour, which means into the opposite, into polarity of that, karakiri. No, you go around now into something else, into the feelings. Do you feel it? It has to do with that. It's not head. It's now the heart. It's a circulation. It has to do with tension and release, like breath. Tension and yeah. This is very important to enter this world of tension. Like when you are born, when we are born as a baby, first thing we do, what? Scream? No. We take a breath and then we scream. How long? 100 years. And the last thing, out, it's all good again. You understand? So our life unfolds between these two. I never seen anybody do this and die. Yeah. Has to go out. Our business, they do only this. Only out. So then, because you get burnouts everywhere. So it's about breath. So how to arrange in organization that organization starts to flow, to breathe. Otherwise, you'll get nowhere. So it's organic now. Next stage. What's that? It says, pa, 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 pa. Yeah, it's this one now. Yeah. Resistance. Bloody resistance. I'm tomorrow in New York and I have no more hair for UBS Bank. Yeah, resistance. Because, the top people initiate change, but when it starts coming bottom up, what do? They say, write performance report or something stupid, so that they put brakes on you because they get scared if somebody takes them seriously below, no? And they really start changing. Change is dangerous. Count on resistance. If you get no resistance, you are dead wrong. More resistance you get in what you do, better off. I know nothing but resistance in my life. So just to tell you. Now, resistance. How do we go on? More. Something is going through. Something is going through. Now, what is this? You see, this is the next stage of organization. When you enable people to come out with the real stuff, which is always connected with passion and feeling. But they are scared to do that. So, they say this is no good. They go off-site on the green and hold hands and smile and talk. And on Monday, back to the black. Yeah, because it's too dangerous if the real stuff. But what do we want today in our modern organization? People should come with their passion and connect with the passion like artists do. We connect 600% with what we do because we love our masterpieces. And people in business connect 16%, according to, I think that's in Germany. But anyway, so what's now? You see, it's more and more. But there is basso ostinato. Through this fire goes one line. And this one line is the line of consciousness. If you induce people to come with that stuff of fire, you as a leader must be conscious in it. Not sort of conk out. You have to be conscious so you can organize that fire to become productive instead of destructive. So that is important. This is artistic consciousness. This consciousness doesn't exist in technology. It means that you are fully involved and identified, and at the same time absolutely cool observer. Both. That is what we can share with you, artists. Now, let's do it together. It's about breakthrough. We practiced. Oh, you sing D again, yeah? Just sit straight, no? Sit straight, sort of. Like, so you will sing this, and I'm going to play fire. And then you increase, and when I come to the high point, I'll give you a sign, then you scream shortly, ah! And we are there, yeah? Yeah, nobody knows about us, yeah? Just us. So, First time so good. You know, I must do it 3 times. The best was in Mongolia, you know, but that I won't tell you. Then really something fell down in one of those lives. Yeah, but you know, I'm just trying to impart to you what it means breakthrough, which means now or never. Have you ever been in that life situation when, you know, now or never? If I don't do it now, I can wait 30 years or never. This moment we know from earthquakes, from wars, from, you know, horrible things, but you can also learn from arts. It won't kill you. But it's very serious. If you have this inner stand at the right moment, you seize the moment as an entrepreneur, you say now or never, and then you get there and everybody says, oh, charismatic or some bullshit like that, you know. It's a hard work, you know. So, okay, let's go on. Let's see where that leads. That's the famous 0 point in life, around 49. You're too young, we'll get there. It's a big shit, you know, it's real crisis, 49, end of the 40s. Yeah? But there is already light at the end of the tunnel. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm talking about, because many people say, I don't have a crisis. And I tell them, look at this guy. He doesn't know that he has an ongoing crisis, because not noticing that you have it, it's the biggest crisis. When you notice, you're already halfway through. So here everything, after all this, suddenly there is nothing. So where? Yeah. But did you hear before? Yeah. It says, our life suddenly turns into questions. You know, we are born with questioning, and then we live with answers for the rest of the life. Yeah, that's what they want, you know, so we just are little cog in a big machine. Answers. No, we revisit and question everything, even science. Shall I say it 3 times? Because they have such authority. You know, if you have scientists who tells you this and that, try it, my advice. Go after them and talk to them so long until they will say, yes, it is only theory. But you have to work on it. They won't tell you that, because it's power when you think that you know the final. Just go after them. At the end, I tell you, you will get to theory. And then tell them, first tell everyone, this is my theory. Then we'll listen to you. So, here we are. So what now? Now, can you hear? Now it's a clear place. Everything is now open. Here we are full of old patterns, full of business as usual, full of what we know. Now we are at this crisis point. What can happen now, my dear friends? Emerging future. We can start working with that which wants to manifest, but we block it out with our past experiences. You know, this place, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, he calls it the power of productive resignation. Power of productive resignation. Die produktive Resignationskraft This is the highest leadership instrument. That you come to the point where you productively resign over your own problems, which are usually ego-generated. You notice you are the problem. Now suddenly you realize that it's a horrible experience. And you're completely empty and you lost your identity of the past. And you're now suddenly opened for your identity to come from periphery. People start responding to you because you made a step. And that is what happens in the music. Now comes the idea from the corner. You see, now idea comes back. Here, out of the ashes, and establishes new platform. But what's the difference between here and here? Huh? What's the difference? Here it was one telling you what to do. One. And here, everybody's there. Do you hear the other voices? So, this is now called co-creation, my friends. Co-creation. Co-creation. You know, I'm trying to change the business language. You know, they are talking, when you meet somebody on the corridor, you always meet people on the corridor. You know, you ask them, where do you go? They say, to a meeting. Oh, another meeting. Another meeting, not that. Who likes meetings? Another meeting. You know, you should tell them, I go to a co-creation session. You will see everything will change in a split second. They will say, ooh, where is it? I want to be part of that. Can you imagine top floor corporations have co-creating sessions instead of meetings where somebody with power tells the others what to do? Huh? Just think about it. That's art. That is music. Co-creation. So what's the new rule? The new rule is let come, not let go. Let come. It's now about emerging future. Let come. How does it sound? I will play at the end, the whole thing. So how does this sound now? Now we are come to the real stuff. Sounds like this. Okay, you get the spirit. The flag is going up. You see, the beginning was negative in minor key. Here, negative. It says, you do it. Yesterday, I hate you, I don't like you, but you have to do it because shareholders want it, you know. Yeah, shareholders who never share. Yeah, exactly. So, they want it. This is out of the box. Yeah, now you got it. Yeah, it's negative here. And now it's the exactly opposite. It starts growing bottom up in major key, positive, and inviting everybody in from the periphery. Look. First one, next voice. Next one. All four. Goes up and now goes in. Feeling warmth. Do you hear the transformation? This is what, you know, companies want to go from transaction to transformation. They would like to, but they keep trying to do with transactional consciousness. It's a different type of consciousness you need to develop to go organic. Please think about that. This is the only remedy to bring technology into the balance. Otherwise, you are prey of technology. Then you have it in your somewhere implanted, and you can have it. So, first voice, second voice, the third voice, the fourth voice, beautiful, you know, like a sunshine. There are rays coming from periphery, not from the center, and it's full of light. Anybody here from Holland? I call this Rembrandt effect. You know, Rembrandt effect. Yeah, yeah. this is called, in organizational development, it's called prototyping. You cannot transform a huge organization, impossible at once. You make a little prototype somewhere, but it's so good, with so much inner conviction, that it starts to shine, and the rest of the company gets positively unhappy, positively nervous. What's going on there? Why do you have such fun there? And then starts, tsunami, waves are going around, and suddenly everybody notices, that's what we want. Experience is there. It's not enough to get McKinsey to make for you a PowerPoint presentation how to transform. You can see them 20 if you want. You'll just have bad dreams. It's about experience, to create experience, to make an inspiration center in our company. And there you experiment with how to get things organic instead of machine. Who wants to live in machine? So, how does it sound once again? Now, if you do it well, then you can scale. Now scaling is possible. Now comes the scaling or cascading. It is called integration. Now everything gets integrated to the final phase, like in human life. You see, these are teenagers, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and then after 60, the life starts. Before it's just preparation. I tell you, until 60, preparing. Then you start slowly. Then you know a little bit what to do. So now, how is the integration? How does that sound? Scaling. It starts with chaos, like here. So chaos is the first beginning of something new. When you have new things, don't expect them to nicely, neatly come to you. It's mess. Even with baby when it's born, we have children. Yeah, mess, all blood and all, but it's baby. So it's the mess. Everywhere in the world is the same. You need mess to see something new is arising, except in Germany. They can manage, yeah, that's clear. Yeah. But the rest, tell you, mess. So. What do you hear? This. Remember, you were singing. Oh, you see, that's going in. And questions, they go in. Yes? Questions and consciousness. Remember Titanic, power? That was here. Now. So power goes in. And I ask people, is power a good stuff or is it bad stuff to have power? Of course we all know it's the best, yeah, it's the best. But I always tell them, but imagine amateur with power. It's the worst, yeah? So you must be master to be entrusted with power. Otherwise, big problems. Look around. So what is power and mastery? How are they related? And what comes after power? You get it? Love. It was here, remember? Empathy. So if you have power, you better have also empathy and love. Otherwise, it's very destructive. Do you know anybody who only has power and absolutely no love? I would run and scream. So, okay, then we have this. Yeah, this goes in, yeah? The final. And then we are at the end. Then we can finally, there. At the end, original statement becomes a question. You know, it's so interesting. We heard this all the time, but now suddenly it is presented as a question. You know, this has to do with identity. Identity is not there until we ask the identity of ourselves, who we are. When you ask yourself, who am I? What's all about? Then identity begins to appear. Before you're not living yet. This question of self-knowledge is the beginning of real life. The rest is, you know, just dreaming. Yeah, so, disruptive. An answer. And then there is power, which I call capital. Yeah, capital. Because capital is not money, capabilities. To do the right thing at the right moment, as you have it here in this music. I'm done. I hope it was not too long, because we want to learn now from this in terms of conversation. And last 7 minutes, I need to play it, because I did horrible thing to music. I just cut it apart. Bach would kill me if he saw what I'm doing. But you know, I did it in order for us to hear these qualities as they go one into the next in organic way, and tells us a story, storyline, how to create a company around us, and in the process, develop ourselves to our higher potential, or highest potential. That's why I did it. You see, there are 7 stages. There's a lot in it. Just think about it. Now, can you please turn to your neighbor and tell each other where you are stuck on this journey? So, anyway, let me just release this horrible stuff by playing it once through, yeah? So, yeah. And I wish you a really good journey wherever you are, you know. G minor fugue by Bach. Được rồi. Dạ.